We're eager to talk to you about anything that you want to talk about. Nothing is off limits. You will notice a perfect unfolding as we move along here. There will be momentum. It is our knowing that together we will take thought beyond that which it has been before, and you will be right in the middle of that newfound manifestation that we all find as vibration moves into a new place. You're doing extremely well, and we don't mean to imply in any way that you're not getting it right, because you are. But we are wanting to imply, well, we'll just say it bluntly, you're not having nearly as much fun as you intended. You're taking life way more seriously, and it's because you're all tripped up on what's manifesting in terms of the stuff instead of what's manifesting in terms of the feeling. And sometimes when we say that, our human friends worry that we're just trying to get you to feel good without the stuff. And that isn't our plan at all. We know that unless you feel good without the stuff that you want can't come. You just got to get the vibration first. So if we can convince you, and words don't teach, we'll point it out to you, and then life will show it to you in a way that you will really know it to be. If we can convince you that you know what you want, you've been asking for it, and that it exists in a vibrational state. We've been calling that vibrational state your vortex. Get in the vortex, we said, until you could hardly stand to listen to us anymore. There's a vibrational reality that if you can sync up with it, then all those things that you want will come into your experience in a way that you can experience the full manifestation of them. So we want to talk about what manifestations really are, because you live in a physical world where you're used to looking around at stuff, and you think that all of this stuff is manifestation, and it certainly is. But we want to point out to you that there is vibration, and then there is thought, and that thought is a manifestation of vibration. Because once you're having a thought about it, you've turned the vibration into something perceivable, into something understandable, into something conceptual, into something. So there is vibration, and then there is the manifestation of the thought. And that's momentum. And once there is a manifestation of a vibration into a thought, then there can be a manifestation into a word. Language is a further manifestation, isn't it? The thoughts that occur to you are manifestations, and it means that momentum is underway. So there is vibration, and then the manifestation of thought, big time important, and then the manifestation of word, and then action, and then all that stuff. And what goes wrong for so many of you is that you want to go from the launching of the rocket, which is the vibration, all the way to the full manifestation of it, and you're not willing to let the momentum, the natural momentum of the laws of the universe, have their gestation time. You don't plant corn in the field and then that day demand that it show itself to you. Come out now. Dinner's in an hour and we need you now. You understand that there is a process, and it's a sure process, and those who have watched it know what it is. And there is a sure process for you too. There's a sure process from you sifting through contrasts and coming to desires that are not yet manifested in the full-blown see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it fashion. But it is a reality. And if you don't stomp on it and kill it with your disgust at it not being everything that you need it to be right now, all right, corn, then just stay there. Stay there, and I will not water you. I will not tend to you. I will not like you anymore. You disgust me. Because you will not be what I need you to be today. So if we can get you hooked on the manifestation of the feeling, if you can count your success in the manifestation of the idea and the feeling of that, and stop taking score about how long it's taking the corn to get out of the ground where you can eat it. Instead, revel in the momentum of this manifestation. It won't be long before you will have maintained a steady vibrational pattern of positive expectation. And the yield from that kind of vibrational crop is unspeakable. It will feel to others who watch you that you are indeed the blessed one. Most everybody you know will come to hate you. It'll be hard for them to take how well your life goes with seemingly so little effort. And when they say, "What have you done to deserve that?" and you try to explain to them, well, there's this vibration that manifests into a thought and a feeling, and I'm hooked on that. That's all I care about. Holding myself in the receptive mode so I can hear the song that I want to hear and feel the joy that I feel when I hear the song. They'll say, you can hear them, can't you? That's a manifestation. If you accept that you have planted the seed in very fertile vibrational soil, and that the energy that creates worlds is on it, and that it is in the state of becoming, and that the work is not its becoming because it is becoming. Look around you at all that has become. You don't need to worry about this. Your earth spins in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets, and it's not because it's on your to-do today list. In other words, there are forces, there are energies, there is consciousness, there is well-being, and it's all for you. So this vibration is in good hands. The question is, how far from the receptive mode are you? Are you going to be there to receive the vibration into the thought? And when you do, are you going to revel in the momentum of that manifestation? So, vibration and thought, emotion. Emotion is a manifestation. The way you feel. The way you feel. In fact, emotion is the most important manifestation that you ever live. And you can understand this clearly. It's because every single thing you want, no matter what it is, an object of attention, a relationship, that lover you're looking for, pile of money, condition, circumstance, everything that you are looking for, you are wanting it because you believe you will feel better in the having of it. When all along, the feeling was right there. Vibration, thought, feeling, right there, right there, right there. We know who you are and why you are here. We know that the contrast is natural, so we don't blame you when you're stepping in the muck. We know that that's how you figure out what you want, so we don't feel uncomfortable when you're in the step one part of the process. We know that it always turns out well because we've got the bigger picture. And so we don't have to worry about any situation that you might get yourself in because we know that ultimately you come back around to who you really are. Conditions are irrelevant to us, but you are creating conditions all of the time by your vibrational presence, you see. Conditions are an important facet. Begin again. Vibration, thought, emotion with the thought,
right?
Word, conditions, 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 conditions. But if you start with the condition, you are less likely to ever get to the vibration of alignment. It's the cart before the horse thing. You see what we're getting at? The best word that Esther can find that fits with what you're reaching for is clarity. Now, we use the word alignment, but it's not as feelable. And we use the word of love, but you've messed that word up terribly. So the word clarity, clear-minded, sureness, confidence, knowing, certainty, absence of resistance, right path, right time. It's that feeling. It's that feeling. Because you have to understand, all that you've lived has culminated into this consciousness that is this source vibration that is not just aware of you, that is you. That is you and is aware of where you are now. When you are in that state of alignment, and you are focused in a time-space reality, it doesn't get any better than that. Because now you can feel the continuity. Now you can feel the progress of it. Now to be consciously aware of the thought, the vibration turning to the thought, the thought, the feeling of the thought, the power of the thought, the knowing of the thought, and then the words that begin to flow, and then the cooperative components of the universe that begin to play with you. That's the infinite, you see. To allow all that you are here, now. No blockage. No petty issues. No, I don't like the way you did that. I don't like the way you did that. None of that. Just tuned into Source and living life the way you and Source intended to live life here and now. Or step one, delicious step one, clarifying points. You see, that's why we don't get out of whack when you're out of whack. We know you're having step one and you came here to have some of that. We know none of us can expand. There can be no infinite. There can be no eternal. There can be no everlasting if there's not new, and there can't be new unless there are questions that bring new answers or problems that bring new solutions. It's all part of it. So we bless you in every problem that you are in, and when you start embracing the problem rather than acting like there's something that I'm doing wrong in it, then you'll be who you really are moving through this life experience. So we've been talking about law of attraction. We've been talking about you being an extension of Source energy. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about your vortex and your inner being and how your inner being feels. And we've been talking about alignment and misalignment. We've been talking about going with the flow or against it. We've been talking about allowing or resisting. And so all of this is to help you to realize that the Source within you is a really good feeling energy. Yeah. And the reason that it feels good is because it's not scattered. Mm-hmm. In other words, whether it is slow momentum or fast momentum, it's the contradiction that makes it uncomfortable. And contradicted energy is what causes all discomfort. Mm-hmm. So what we're leading up to here is that a really good sleep, in other words, when you are in sync with your inner being, that's when you are the most comfortable. Now think about comfort in terms of emotion. Mm-hmm. Positive emotion feels comfortable. Negative emotion feels uncomfortable. Right. Being up to speed with who you are feels comfortable. Not being up to speed with who you are feels uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So whether you call it emotional discomfort or physical discomfort, it just means that there's a lot of energy flowing because there's strong desire within you that you're not quite allowing yourself to get into sync with. So you know the experience of waking up and deciding not to get up and just drifting off back to sleep. Would you call that comfort? In other words, it's like resting in the alignment of who I really am. Yeah. It's resting in the alignment of who I really am. Have you also had the feeling when you wake up and right away you're worried about something? And even though you'd like to go back to sleep, there's no point in even trying because you can feel how scattered you are and you know you're not going to get back to sleep. So you might just as well get up and have the crappy day you're planning to have. Because you know the difference, don't you? You can feel the difference. Mm-hmm. And so what you may want to do is meditate before you go to sleep. Quiet your mind before you sleep. Because quieting your mind is just focusing on things that aren't so active. Yeah. In other words, don't take a child at the end of the day after they've been running and having so much experience and then expect them to go right to sleep. Yeah. And don't expect that of yourself either. In other words, you sort of have to wind down to it. Mm. But even more than that, how do I get rid of doubt before it starts? How do I sleep more easily? By not getting so agitated before I try to sleep. That really is all that it is about. We've taken supreme pleasure from this interaction. It's exhilarating to feel you in your alignment. We are eager about what is unfolding. It is our desire that you be easier about all of it.